He was born into money, built an empire, lost it all, and clawed his way back. He survived scandals, 2 impeachments, an assassination attempt, and a felony conviction, and still became President of the United States, not once, but twice. This is the story nobody could have scripted. The story begins not in New York, but in a small German village called Kallstadt in the Bavarian Palatinate. In 1885, a 16-year-old barber named Friedrich Trump boarded a ship for America, fleeing conscription into the German army. He landed with almost nothing and drifted west following the gold rush, not to mine, but to feed the miners. In the Klondike and later in Seattle, he ran restaurants and boarding houses for prospectors, quietly building the family's first fortune not by finding gold, but by serving those who searched for it. Friedrich married Elizabeth Christ, also from Kallstadt, and settled in Queens, New York. He died young in the 1918 flu pandemic, leaving behind a modest estate and a son barely out of childhood, Fred Trump. Fred did not wait long to build. As a teenager, he was already constructing garages and small houses in Queens. By his 20s, he had turned his father's savings into a real estate business, and through the Depression, the war years, and the post-war housing boom, Fred Trump built thousands of homes and apartment units across Brooklyn and Queens, solid, unglamorous, but profitable buildings for the middle class. He was disciplined, famously frugal, and relentless about the bottom line. He married Mary Ann MacLeod, an immigrant from Scotland, and together they raised 5 children in Jamaica Estates, Queens. The 4th of those children, born June 14, 1946, was Donald John Trump. Where Fred built quietly in the outer boroughs, his son wanted Manhattan, the skyline, the headlines, the name in lights. Donald took his father's foundation of capital and construction know-how and pointed it towards something Fred never chased: spectacle. Trump Tower, the casinos in Atlantic City, the golf resorts, the reality television, each one traded the elder Trump's formula of steady accumulation for scale, branding, and risk. That risk nearly ended the story more than once. In the early 1990s, Donald Trump's businesses collapsed under billions in debt, and he came close to personal bankruptcy, even as his company filed for Chapter 11 protection multiple times over the next few decades. Each time, he rebuilt through licensing his name, television, and new ventures, turning collapse into comeback again and again. And it was that same instinct for reinvention that carried the family name from real estate into politics, from a 16-year-old fleeing conscription to a builder of Queens apartment blocks to a president of the United States. Picture Jamaica Estates, Queens, in the late 1940s, a neighborhood of manicured lawns and brick colonials, comfortable but nowhere near Manhattan's glamour. Here, in a 23-room house built by his own father, young Donald grew up the 4th of 5 children, raised by a builder father obsessed with discipline and a Scottish immigrant mother who loved pageantry and royalty on television. Fred Trump ran his household like his construction sites: early mornings, hard work, no excuses. Donald was rowdy, competitive, and restless, known among neighborhood kids for testing every rule he could find. By 13, his father had had enough and shipped him off to the New York Military Academy, hoping strict discipline would channel all that energy. It worked in its way. Donald thrived under structure and competition, rising to a student leadership rank by his senior year, a boy from a builder's household learning early how to command a room.